walking once with my mentor, Rabbi Singer. We were in America, and we were in a certain area of America, just outside New York, and we're walking down the street, and we see in front of us some sort of gang, a group of maybe 5 to 10 youth, and they were big, and they're walking towards us. I turned to Rabbi Singer and I said, "Do you want to cross the road?" And he looks at me and he shrugs his shoulders. He says, "Why?" So we carry on walking. As we get closer to this group, before we knew it, I don't know what I felt, because they were surrounding us, and I was ready to say, that's it, Shema Yisrael. And the strangest thing happened. One of them opens up his mouth and he says, "Rabbi Singer, my mother's not well again." And the other, "Rabbi Singer, my father lost his job." And in Rabbi Singer's style, he takes out his pencil and his pad and he starts to write down names and numbers. He says, "I may have a job for your father, and give me your mother's name." After a few minutes, we carry on walking. And I turned to Rabbi Singer and I said, "Who were they?" And he says to me, "I need to tell you a story." He says, "When I first moved into the Lower East Side, there were gangs who broke into our synagogue. And once, I think it was on a Friday, I see this gang standing outside. So I have in my head a dilemma. Do I call the police or do I do something else?" Rabbi Singer took out milk and cookies, and as his daughter said to me, from that day on he found himself new security, because they never broke into his synagogue again. So I said to Rabbi Singer, "Well, what's the relationship between that story and these people we just met?" He looks at me and he says, They're grandchildren, of course. They're the Enochel." I was blown away. I learned something so profound. I learned something so deep, how a small act of loving kindness can span generations.